So I want to talk to you about HyperDocs. A HyperDoc is a Google Doc that takes it to the next level. So here's an example here that I'm creating for my class next week. I kind of want to keep it simple, but I do want to intrigue them. I really want them to dive into this. So I'm trying to start it by making it pretty interesting. Cross my fingers. So this is let me explain to you what it is and why it's a little bit next level than a regular document that I'll create and print out and then copy it and give it to students. This is a next level. So I can add pictures here. So I want to engage them with an interesting picture. And I can just take that right off the internet. The way that I can add pictures is I can just go insert, and this insert box is really going to be the key for when you use a HyperDoc. And it's very simple for me. Image, search the web. And I had looked at night sky. Oh, that's a good picture too. And then insert. The second part that I think is really important is to add video. I like that it's next level. The way that I do this in a Google Doc is very similar. I included this picture right here, and I highlighted the picture. I can go to insert link, and then you can add the YouTube video, or there is a way to add a Google Drive video that you want to connect it. I like to I've taught my students that everything in blue means it's something they click, it's a link. So that's why I put this blue border around here, but I didn't put it around these, just as this is just a style that I use in my class. So I have just some self-checking questions. I think in a classroom, this would be something we'd have a quick discussion with the class or use whiteboards. Then I wanted to add in this article. So the same thing before, I can have a link, the way I inserted it before, to the ReadWorks. I know some people have ReadWorks linked to their, each one of their students have an account. I don't. I just downloaded the PDF on my Google Drive, and then I got the link there. And then the last thing that I like to include is a form. So the way that I have done that is I've created the form I want. Here it is. Let me give it a better title. And then this is where I'm collecting their responses. This is my check for understanding, my assessment, actually. This is my assessment. So I want my students to be able to access it. So I'm going to hit send. And I want to get the link, here with the little, like a cha-ching link. And I'm going to copy that long address. And I'm going to add it here. Again, here's that blue word, insert link. And students can just click it, and it'll go to their, oh look, there it is. They can fill it up and have some work that they've done there. So I'll show that one more time. I want to add another link to this site. I want students to be able to go to NASA. So I'm going to copy this address here. I did a Command C or edit, copy. And I'll go here, edit, actually insert, link. And then there's the link there. And I'll put the NASA website. And then students can go to any of the list of websites that I have here. So how I share this with students, you can just share it on your Google Classroom so the way that I got here, anyone with the link can have access. They can't, this means that nobody can change it, but they can just look at it. So then I'll save that. I want to make sure, and I also want to make sure no sign-in is required. I like to put this because right now my students are just figuring out how to access Google Classroom on other devices other than their Chromebooks. So students are doing it on cell phones or on other devices. So I don't want that to limit them. I still want them to be able to see it. So I just put can view on. No, you don't have to sign into Google to do this. Eventually, normally in my classroom, I just link it to my Google Classroom. And then I link it and I can put it on my Parent Square for my parents. I can put it on Google Classroom or however I'm just distributing information for students. I have done this in the past. This is an example of one that I did it as a project for students. I wanted them to design an infographic, so they had to know what an infographic is. And I wasn't like telling them. It was they had to obtain that information and process it. Their team roles, and I wanted to curate a research bank for them. So if they went here, this was the bank or the library of images that I've created for them. Map routes, right? So I did that because I didn't have a lot of time for them to do research, and I wasn't yet ready. See, this was in September. I wasn't yet ready for them to kind of go wild and just research, type words into Google yet. So the best research I have seen for creating a hyperdoc is looking at hyperdocs.co. And then you can find hyperdoc samples on here as well. It shows you how to do it. It even gives you some like how to make it really next level using higher DOK questions. But I really like it because I can go and see what other people are using samples. Let's see what are they using in science, because that's and then there's a whole bank of hyperdocs that you can just make a copy and tailor it to be more for your class. Let's look at this one right here. Oh, solar systems, that's kind of what we're doing. Let's see what. There's also a Facebook group that you can get ideas called Hyperdocs. I've added myself to that too. So this looks really good. So I use Hyperdocs with my, and I'm using it for distance learning.